Now we're live.
And we are.
Welcome. How you going, Anita?
Erica, I am well. I've had a frustrating start to the morning, as you know, but I've recomposed and calmed and taken deep breaths. And I'm really happy that this conversation is happening because it's added light to my day.
Yes, I was going to say this is perfect after a hard morning, I think, because this will surely turn your day around. We are joined by the wonderful Fiona Keary today. Welcome, Fiona.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to talk to both of you today and everybody else.
We're thrilled. Thank you so much for joining us. This was kind of inspired by a conversation that Anita and I had not too many weeks ago, actually, maybe only a couple, maybe 3 or 4, where I came on talking about the fact that I feel kind of like I don't know how to dress and I don't know how to sort of style myself in a way that feels true to my identity. And as we were talking about that, we both kind of had the same light bulb moment, didn't we, of going, we need to talk to Fiona. We need Fiona to come and talk to all the people. And so just like that, we made it happen. So, Fiona, this is your absolute wheelhouse, but perhaps I will throw over to you just to introduce yourself, tell people what it is that you do, and then we're going to talk a little bit about style and identity in midlife.
Perfect. Well, yes. So my name's Fiona Keary. My business is Style Liberation. We help women 35 plus to create a wardrobe full of outfits that they absolutely love wearing without having to start from scratch. And so we work with people, but we work mostly with women 35 plus. We do that in person and online, and we work with women all over Australia, New Zealand, and other parts of the world as well. So this is very much my wheelhouse. I am obsessed with helping women feel good about what they wear because we're really hard on ourselves all the time. And this is one way of taking one thing off your list that you have to worry about, because we have enough things to worry about, do through our day. So this is sort of like the easy win so that we can just head out into our day, feel at home and at ease in what we're wearing and not have to think about it again. That's my aim for the women that we work with.
I love that. I love the thought of just like going into my wardrobe. I make that look like it would be really grand. It's not. It would be like, just sort of stick my head in, and just feeling like, everything in here feels like me. But I wonder if you get that a lot, Fiona, working with women who are 35 and above. Is this feeling of like, I don't know how to match the outside with the inside, is that common? Is that something that you see a lot?
It is so common. And often it's the thing that we don't identify as being the issue or the challenge. What we often think is the issue or the challenge is the fit of clothing. This is where people often start. But when we really, really dig into it, it's often not the fit that's the issue with something. Because you know what? You can alter things. You can try different sizes. You can alter things. What we always say is style personality, understanding your style is the number one thing because it dictates the colours that you choose to wear, the fabrics that you choose to wear, the cut that you prefer, whether something has a print or is a block colour, whether you like to wear lots of jewellery or that thought of that just makes you feel like a jangly mess. So it really is that key to dictating everything else that you do in terms of clothing, shoes, accessories, hair, makeup. And when you get it right, it just feels right. But it does take a little bit of exploration. The other thing I should say as well, it's not just midlife. Whenever we're going through a significant transition, and obviously midlife is one of those significant transitions, hence why we work with a lot of women in midlife. But whenever we go through any particular transition, we often find it can shift as well during that period. So, for example, changing careers, maybe returning from mat leave, kids leaving home, moving to a different location where there's a different vibe. All of those things can change it up. But often in midlife, we're going through a lot of change, So that's often where we find the biggest change. And it's okay to change. What worked for you in your 20s, your 30s, your early 40s doesn't mean it has to work now. And yes, sometimes there's a little bit of letting go, but I think it's exciting that we get that opportunity to rediscover
Yes.
who we are, what that style is, because that is the thing that is constant through life is change. We are going to change. So it's about embracing it and realizing, okay, I'm not going to wear that anymore, but what else is there out there that's going to make me feel at home and at ease, but still, when I need to strut my stuff, a little bit special too. So yeah, very much.
Yeah. And for me, style's always been a form of self-expression. I've never been a label slave. I've never been someone who just follows a trend for the sake of it. So for me, it's fundamentally important. And I think that's why in our discussion, Erica, it really cut to the core, because it was like when you question who you are in this major midlife transformation or transition or, rediscovery as well of who you are. I think that, well, for me personally, and from the discussions we've had with other women, that's a big spark. That goes, well, how do I then express who I am when I am questioning who I am? So where do I begin in this cycle of I would love to wear this, but I don't feel comfortable in this, but because I don't know who I am, and you kind of just keep going around in circles. So yeah, how do we stop going around in circles? And is that a thing, going around in circles?
Yeah. And look, I'll just share as well. I feel that I'm really having a shift at the moment in terms of my style. Okay. And again, we always say to people, you need to revisit this sort of every 3 to 5 years, because there could be little shifts, but bigger shifts. And some of the easy ways I should start with what people usually do. What people usually do is they look outwards. Okay. We look for inspiration on socials, like on Instagram and things like that. And we see someone else that we admire and we go, okay, well, I'll give that a go and I'll try that. And it's like we're doing Goldilocks and we're trying on different, or, trying different bits of porridge or trying on different things to see if they fit. And that can be a really frustrating
and expensive
exercise.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so, and same with stores and retailers and things like that. And, we may have been wed to particular brands, but also they evolve. Okay. So, you can get stuck doing that. So what we say is you really need to look inwards. Okay. And spend a little bit of time. And it's not necessarily a super quick fix. It can be something that can happen. Some people are really quick. They can do it in 2 weeks. Some people can do it in a month. Other people, it takes 6 months. But it's about that sort of self-reflection. And a good place to start is actually in your own wardrobe by pulling out, and I always actually say start with pieces that you like in theory, but you never make it out the front door in. And we call them your alien pieces, right? Because you feel like you're playing dress-ups in them. Okay. So we say, put that on. So what is it about that piece that's not quite working for you? So if I think about my own experience, I wouldn't call myself a super feminine style personality. Okay. And so if I put on a dress that has a lot of frills, a ruffle, a big A-line skirt, I really feel like I am playing dress-ups. Okay. So it's about going through what we call the elements of style personality. So if you put something on and you go, okay, what is it that's not quite gelling for me? Is it the color? Is it the print? Is it the fabric? A relaxed natural, for example, if you put them in a person-made fiber, they're going to itchy, scratchy. Whereas if you put a dramatic in a person-made fiber and it's constricted and it's like really structured, they don't care. Because if it looks good, that doesn't bother them. But for someone else who's got more of a relaxed style personality, anything that's itchy, scratchy, that will really annoy them.
Yeah.
Okay. Does it have details and embellishments on it? For someone who is classic, they want it really clean and simple. Whereas someone who's creative wants or rebellious might want like a little bit of an edgy detail to that particular item of clothing. So it is spending a little bit of time looking at, okay, what are the pieces that I'm not wearing and what is it about them that I don't feel comfortable in? And you'll start to make a couple of notes about, is it the detail? I don't like frills and ruffles. Is it the print? Is it the color? All of those type of things that you'll do. Then you go to the pieces that you love. in your wardrobe and you feel amazing in, and you do the same exercise and do that, and you start to see a pattern of words that come forward in terms of that style, and that helps you really hone in to what your style personality is going to be. The key is you're not one. You're not one style personality. You're going to be a combination, and that's why it's so unique. So it's understanding then, based on those elements, how it all comes together and plays beautifully together for you.
So you've used the word style personality a fair bit. Can you just explain a little bit about what style personality is and why you find it such an invaluable place to start and where people should be looking first rather than, the other things that you've talked about in the other places?
Yeah. And look, style personality is just a frame of reference that we use to help people define what their style is.
Right.
So that they have really clear guidelines and parameters. As an ex-accountant, I like having rules and parameters and a spreadsheet. And a lot of our clients are quite similar. They want the rules.
Right.
Okay. And so it just gives them some guidelines around how to explore this. So style personality is a way of expressing who you are through your clothes, shoes, accessories, and makeup and hair.
Right.
Okay.
Great. Love that.
And so then we work with 8 style personalities. But as we say, we're usually a combination of 2 to 3. If you're more than that, that's a particular style personality, and that's multiple style personalities, and that's okay. You're allowed to have that. It just means you're creative and you're a mood dresser. So anyone who's a mood dresser and can't, do capsule packing, that is okay, because you don't know what you're going to want to wear on the day. You need to wake up and go, okay, that's what I feel like today. Whereas someone who is a classic will very much have noted down in their app on their phone, on Monday, I'm going to wear this. If the weather changes, I've added this layering piece and these shoes. We'll go with that. Okay. So different style personalities will do different things around that. Would you like me to talk about the 8?
Yes. Let's look at the 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
So our first style personality is the classic. So think your traditional sort of suited and booted, very tailored. They tend to go for block colours, and they'll go reasonably minimal and timeless and classic with their accessories, for example. So they'll do navies, whites, blacks, reds, taupes, camels, that type of thing. And they always look appropriate. Okay. We find that they're quite analytical as well. And very structured and organised in how they approach their life. So a lot of style personality stuff also maps over to other, just personality in general.
Personality, yeah.
Then we've got our gorgeous relax, and I do love a relaxed. I wish I was more relaxed. They're the people who get out of bed in the morning, zhuzh their hair, put on jeans and a t-shirt and just look fabulous, right? And they just they love comfort. For them is the most important thing. Okay. They don't care how beautiful something looks. If it's not comfortable, they will not wear it. Then we've got our gorgeous dramatics. Our dramatics, I tease, are always the people who, they do their grocery shopping in stilettos. They don't care about how comfortable something is. If it looks amazing and creates a bit of a wow impact, that's them. If you don't notice what they're wearing, they get really upset. Okay. They want someone to comment on it. And that's okay. We need those fabulous people. Then we've got our rebellious, and they're quite irreverent. They don't like being told what to do. And our rebellious, and I find quite a few of us move into that rebellious phase as we move through life, which I love.
And I think they call that the postmenopausal year, Fiona.
Yeah, I love it. And I think more of a break.
That's right.
So they're quite irreverent. They do some deeper colours. They like some edginess to their look. Maybe they've got a little bit of an undercard, or maybe they have some metal studding or fringing, or they love a band tee or something like that. Relaxed and rebellious go really, really well together, actually. And so does relaxed and feminine. Then that takes us on to our creatives, which are our mood dressers, and they don't want to look like anybody else. Okay, they want those special vintage pieces and finds. They want something that's just that little bit different and quirky. They love putting together wonderful colour combinations, that type of thing. Then we've got our gorgeous sultries, our va-va-vooms. So they are all about the glamour. Okay, they're about showing their shape, fabulous hair and makeup, lots of accessories, bold color, that type of thing. Then we've got our feminines, are super open, warm, friendly, and caring. They like softer fabrics, again, like our relaxed, and relaxed feminines work beautifully together too.
Mhm.
So they like things that are softer. They love the purples and pinks and soft blues and soft greens, or into those jewel tones. And they often like a little bit of feminine detail, like our lace and frills and ruffles and things like that too. And then we've got our elegants, and our elegants are really quite interesting. And we find a lot of our clients who start out as a classic move into that elegant, because elegants love to use color, and they'll use a little bit more print and pattern, but they'll have a bit more feminine detail. So they'll add that structure with that softness as well to them. So there's definitely an air of sophistication and an expense to the look, but it doesn't mean that it is expensive.
Right.
So they're our 8. And yes, we're usually a combination of 2 to 3, but how that shows up is so different for everybody.
Yeah. Have you had conversations with women where they say, "Oh, in my 20s, I was more of a rebellious, and now I find I'm a bit more feminine." That might be a wildly, ridiculous kind of extreme. But do you find that as well, that people in different phases of their life might say that their style personality, they can sense that it would have changed?
What I find actually really interesting is that they'll say, I was that style personality in my 20s. And then I thought I had to do this. And what I hear a lot of is I should.
Right.
And I hear it from women all the time. I should do this. I should wear this. I shouldn't be dressing like this, and I should be doing that. And we'll have a lot of clients who are absolutely, say, sultry in their 20s,
Mm.
and then life happens and they should do these other things, and they lose that sultry
Right.
and they become more relaxed, but it's not them. And then it's about going back and saying, actually, I am that.
And owning it. Here I
Owning
am.
it, but how do I dress that now?
Mm, mm. Well, that's fascinating. That
Yeah.
is really fascinating and challenging. No wonder it's challenging to express who you are, at every stage, because you must feel alien at times. It's like, geez, who am I now? I know I used to be that, and now I'm finding it hard to be like that. And all of those shoulds, do you think a lot of those shoulds are around cultural expectations or role expectations? What do you think the shoulds are?
Cultural role, and also this idea that a particular style personality looks exactly one way, or you can only do it if you're a particular size or shape. This is where we come back around to the idea that it's about fit,
Mm.
when actually that shouldn't even come into the equation, because there's so many different ways of expressing each style personality that we become limited in this idea that we have to be a particular size, a particular shape, or all these other expectations of age, that we can't explore this type of style personality, when we absolutely should be continuing with it, owning it, and leaning into it.
Yeah, owning it. Love that. Erica, we spoke of mutton dressed up as lamb, right? That horrid expression. I know. Horrible, right? But that's the whole ageism thing you're talking about, And is that a big one too, Fiona, particularly with the women who might be in their 50s and 60s coming to you?
Absolutely. It is. And they'll say things like that. Or also, and it's like, you absolutely can embrace your style personality no matter your age.
Yeah.
And it's about understanding what really works for you and how you want to express it. Like, we've seen things like, you shouldn't wear a short skirt over this particular age, or you shouldn't wear this, and you shouldn't, again, it's the shoulds and the shouldn'ts.
Mm.
And it's like, well, hold on a minute. If you feel comfortable, you've got a great pair of legs, and that's your style personality to do it. And you're
Go, girl.
happy with your body and your confident in that, do it.
Yeah.
If it's not your style personality, don't do it.
If it doesn't feel like you, don't do
If
it.
it doesn't feel like you, don't do it. So, yeah, there's a lot of the shoulds and should nots.
Yeah.
I'm curious, Fiona, what happens or how you approach this with women when they maybe put something on and they feel fabulous, like at home.
Yeah.
But the thought of going out like that is tricky because it doesn't feel like people have seen them that way before. I think that's something that I've been really mindful of my whole life. I would put myself probably in that sort of creative. I love op shopping, all that sort of thing. But sometimes something that I put on and feel amazing in, I go, I don't know. I feel like people are going to think something of me when I walk out in it. It might not even be anything particularly out there, but I don't particularly like the attention. And so I'm wondering how you bridge that gap when maybe you feel fantastic, but the thought of being fantastic and then leaving the house doesn't quite vibe.
I got some really great advice when I went through my own sort of style transformation. I had the privilege of having my colours and everything done by this fabulous woman, Morag, based in London. And one of the things she said to me with my particular colour palette, she goes, "You shouldn't get out of bed without lipstick." We had a shouldn't, but she was right. I shouldn't get out of bed without lipstick. And actually, I love it, right? And so that scared me because I was never a bold lipstick wearer.
Right.
And she said, well, the thing is, the people that you see on a daily basis, your work colleagues, your friends, your family, your partner, it's going to be new for them. For anyone else out there in the wild, that's just how you are. And so once I started going, hold on a minute, that's just how I am. And so it took a little while. I did change up a little bit of what I was wearing and what I was doing. And initially people were like, oh, wow. Oh, what are you doing? And it will happen initially. And you'll actually find that in most cases, the reaction is very positive. And sometimes that's what we're afraid of or concerned about as well. And so, yes, people will notice that know us, but anyone who is new to us, like walking down the street, supermarket, anything like that, that's just how we are.
It's a good point.
Yeah, they don't know a different version of us. And so that's why sometimes it can feel a little bit scary because it's often the people that we know that are seeing this change. And
I remember I went and had my colours done, Fiona, and part of that was putting lipstick on, and I had to go to like a school event afterwards. I think I was just like picking my son up from basketball training or something, and oh my gosh, I wanted to be like, because it looked so different. I just looked so foreign to myself even, and I wasn't even sure I liked it, because I hadn't sort of sat with it. It was such a funny little moment because I was like, everybody's looking at me. But it was, I'm sure nobody actually cared. But it is amazing. I think all those shoulds, they can sometimes be that comparison game that we play, right? Where it's like, am I fitting in? Am I being accepted? Do they think I look weird? Are they laughing at me? Are they judging me? I felt like I was in high school again, and I thought, this is ridiculous. You're a 40-year-old woman, just own it.
So the advice I have around that is if you are going to do something new and you're feeling fabulous at home, don't go somewhere you know people.
Yeah.
Test it without that first. And you will it just becomes a thing. And it just becomes natural. More people comment now when I don't have lipstick on. They're like, are you okay?
Are you okay, Fiona?
Are you okay? You okay?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And I love that. It's kind of like building that confidence and building that, reassurance in a way that you're on the right track. Not that you need their acceptance. Nobody needs anyone's acceptance or permission. Goodness gracious, we're, grown women. But yeah, it is something within us that we absolutely need to build, isn't it? To be able to put ourselves forward. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And, that's why your style liberation, because while you're talking about all of that with Erica, I'm thinking the flip of that is what freedom and joy comes from not being hindered and, held back by all of those negative thoughts and second guessing, I guess, and that goes on. It must be very liberating for your clients when they finally crack it and they go, this feels so good. It feels free.
And look, I think one of the most liberating things, especially for our classic and relaxed natural clients, and most of our clients have some classic and relaxed in their style personality. And again, it's going back to that shoulds. It's like, oh, I should be wearing makeup, or I should be wearing more makeup, or I should be wearing more jewelry, or I should be accessorizing more. And I say, no, you're a classic and a relaxed. That's not your style personality. That's going to make you feel uncomfortable. So lean into those other parts of your style, those beautiful, maybe natural fibers and layering that you like to do, or maybe your use of beautiful color. Like that might be where your signature style comes in. So lean into the parts that are right for you and not do the, I should be doing this. Like I should be wearing more jewelry. I should be, wearing more makeup. I should be doing my hair like this. You don't have to.
You don't have to. Because I guess, and this is something that Eric and I talked about in the previous episode about this, was in my previous life, I had to attend quite a few formal functions. That was part of the role that I played. And that was when I often, yes, I still felt like it was me, but the shoulds really kicked in there. It's like, okay, there's a dress code here. So how do you go not wearing, to the dress code? So there's compromises at times too, I guess, but there must be ways in which you can still feel like you, but adhere to some of those shoulds which pop up in life, hey?
Yeah, absolutely. So we always say dress code doesn't equal style personality and vice versa. And one of the things that we often hear from our clients is, oh, I'd love to inject more of my style personality into this particular context of my life, whether that's work, or, events, or, a family wedding or something like that. And we say, absolutely you can, because again, there's 7 elements. So, you may not want to do the full ball gown type look. If you're rebellious, you might go for a tuxedo.
Yeah.
Right? So
yes.
It's like you can still meet that dress code, but you can do it in a slightly different way. And just like a relaxed natural for event wear, for example, we would think very differently about the silhouette and the shoes and accessories for that, but it would still be elevated to that level of dress code. So dress code does not equal style personality. What's really interesting is for our classics and our elegance, they actually find casual the trickiest dress code to do.
I love that. Wow. Okay.
They find it really hard to dress. What they say is dress down, and we say you don't have to dress down, but we understand for casual you probably want something that is a little bit more relaxed overall, but here's how you can still get that sort of sharp tailored look without feeling too constricted for every day. So again, it's both spectrums in terms of, dressing down and dressing up across those dress codes.
Never considered that people might struggle to dress down.
No, it's an indication of your style personality.
I'm like, I often can be heard saying, if I can't wear jeans or tracksuit pants, I don't know what to wear.
That gives me a pretty good clue.
Yeah, I'm comfort over anything, to be honest. But it often means that when I'm going somewhere nice, like I have one top that I just wear on repeat. And I don't love that, I kind of think, oh God, I feel like I wear the same thing when I go anywhere nice. But as soon as I try to dress up, I don't feel like myself.
Yeah.
And so it's this constant, I want to look nice, but I put it on and I feel like I literally feel like I'm playing dress ups. So yeah, I've done your style personality quiz a couple of times actually. Yeah. And it's brilliant. And I still wear the same clothes.
Yeah.
I'm a work in progress for sure.
Absolutely. So it's about, okay, if you do have to move into, say, smart casual, bar wear, that sort of thing, or, afternoon soiree or things like that, it's about finding those pieces. And there's so much noise out there in terms of pieces, and also an idea of what we should be wearing to those, rather than thinking about what am I going to feel good in that's going to work for that sort of dress code. One of the top tips I would give, it's about fabric and cut. So getting a fabric and cut that feels like your style personality, but maybe has a elevated or more dressier vibe to it. But you can still very much take it so that it's elevated, but still you.
Yeah, I need
So
some
it's
fancy
about fabric and
jeans.
cut.
That's what I'm hearing. I need fancy jeans.
Fancy jeans. Fancy jeans. Or there are dressed up tracksuit pants out there, and it's huge at the moment.
I have seen this. Yes.
Yeah. So I would go for the dressy tracksuit pants.
Yeah, maybe I need to give that a shot. I'm curious, Fiona, too, how like what do you recommend to people? Because I know when we go into the shops, and I don't know, I actually try to avoid shopping probably more than most things. There's always a style. There's always a sort of theme that seems to be filling the shop. So if you don't have the same, like if that doesn't suit your style personality, how do you shop?
So look, what we always say is you don't want to be trend driven. You want to be your style personality driven. And what we find is every season there will be trends or in things that will suit your style personality. It's about finding them. And I would say your best option is actually to do what we call street style searches online and using Google Shopping tool. So what we say is you type in your style word. So all of those things that came up when you're exploring the pieces that you don't necessarily walk out the front door in from your wardrobe, and then the pieces that you do absolutely love. So what we would say is use those style words. So, excuse me, my tummy's just having a little grumble. So
it can get in the conversation too. That's all right.
So it's using those style words in a Google shopping search and using it before the item that you're looking for. So, if you were looking for like dressed up tracksuit pants, you can put that in a Google shopping search and look at some either street style to see how they've styled it up and go, oh yeah, I could explore that. And then using that to do a little bit of search. But we find Google shopping search and a street style image search on your style words really gives you some clues and ideas of, one, how things are sort of put together, but two, where to find those pieces and brands that probably are going to, at the moment, would speak to your style personality.
Very good tip. Love it.
Hot tip. Love that. Hot. Extra hot. And so do you put in street style in that search?
Yeah. So you would put in your style words or particular items that you're after with those style words, and then street style at the end.
Wow.
Yeah. Just gives you some inspiration.
Erica, I see episode 3 coming up about this. What do you think is going to be in it?
We are going to find out our street style, aren't we?
We are going to buy them and we're going to put them up there. Yeah. That's awesome, Fiona. Fantastic tips. Really appreciate that. Erica, is there anything else? I feel that we've covered a fair bit here. Fiona, is there anything else that you would want to impart in terms of, letting women know who might be struggling with this new identity and coming forward to express who they are in all of this swirling midlife change?
Just give yourself some time, but start in your own wardrobe first. You've got huge clues in there as to what your style is, because there'll be things that you do not wear, and that's easy to sort of tick off that list. And then there'll be those pieces that, when you put them on, you just feel, I like to say, like a bit of all right. And so that gives you some really great clues and indications there. So use that as your jumping off point, but also don't be scared to experiment. And what I mean by that is, go into a shop and just try things. And yes, people will throw things at you and just be a little strict about it and go, you know what? And just try and experiment and just go shopping without any expectations or buying anything. Go shopping without buying anything, or go op shopping.
Really good at doing that.
Yeah. But also
almost always come home with nothing.
But always give yourself the time to actually experiment. Give yourself an hour to just spend time maybe in one or two places and just try, because you start to learn what you like and what you don't like. Because until we try things on, we actually don't know. We can see things online, we can see things in shop windows, but until they're actually on our bodies and we sort of play around with it a bit. And even if something does like get you a little bit excited and you decide to take it home, then again, spend a bit of time experimenting with it in your wardrobe, because you'll get to see whether or not it plays well with what you've already got, but that it's actually something that you might walk out the door in. And you'll gauge that pretty quickly too. And if it's not, return it.
Yeah.
Just return it. It's okay. You've played, you've given it a go, you've experimented. But it is, and this is the thing, this is where we are in life. I think it's a period of experimentation. What are we going to do next? What are we trying out?
Yeah, love that.
Have fun with it rather than being hard on yourself about it.
Yeah, love that. We often talk about being curious as a value that we both share, and I think that is very much what's fueling what you're talking about there. Having a play, having an experiment, and staying curious about it. And I know too, from years of helping women with swimwear, they would say, "Do you think this will work for me?" And I go, "Look, you won't know until you put it on." That's the ultimate way to know. So, and if it's not right, send it back, right? But yeah, you won't know ultimately until you give it a go. And I love that. That's, yeah, fantastic tips. And what I also love about what you, Fiona, in your world is that it is that blend of in person and online. And so if women want to appreciate and learn a little bit more about what their style personality is, and also too, I think it's also having that someone's got my back, right? So as I'm venturing out and I'm exploring, if I take a couple of steps back and I return more than what I keep and I'm getting a bit frustrated, I think it would be helpful to know that I've got someone I can lean on or other people I can lean on to help me through this, and I'm not going to feel judged.
Yeah.
And I know that's something that you offer as well. Can we talk a little bit about that side of things?
Yeah, we have our Superstyler membership where we offer that sort of dialer stylist service, as well as our quarterly style file where we classify everything by style personality and colour palette. So that's delivered to our members' inboxes so that they can just go, right, I've removed all the noise and this is what it can look like, so that you've got a little bit more guidance and help with that. And then if accidentally you do buy a few things and they make it into your wardrobe, that's a bonus too. But yeah, so we do have a whole community of women that really do help each other. So it's not just myself or Christy popping in to help everyone. It's the whole community. And we really just celebrate each other. It is just such a beautiful, gorgeous community of women who, we just want to help each other feel happy in what we're wearing. And like I said before, so we're not having to think about it all day. We're not tugging, we're not pulling, not feeling like an alien. We've got enough to think about. We've got enough to do without having to worry about what we're walking out the front door in.
Yeah, I love that. That support. That sounds fantastic. Well, for sure, we will put some links as to if those people who are subscribing and want to know more or catching this chat and want to know more, where they can find out what their style personality is. Everyone always wants to know a bit more about who they are. So that would be a fun thing to do. And yeah, just take it from there. Be a part of your world and explore that a little bit to see if that will help.
Thank you so much. And thank you so much for inviting me to talk about something that I love with you this afternoon.
Yeah, thank you. You're so generous, Fiona, and I love the work that you do. I admire what you do because I know it's not pushy and it's not shoulds. It's a way of helping women to unbottle and unleash who they are, and I think that is a wonderful gift to give someone. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Erica. Did you want to add anything else, sweetheart?
No, I just thank you. Thank you, Fiona. It's always lovely to hear you chat. And yeah, I encourage everyone to go and take the quiz because it is a bit of fun as well as being quite eye-opening. So yeah, enjoy that. And thank you so much. Thank you for taking the time. Thank you for dealing with all the tech gremlins with us to get
it's my
started.
fault.
Not you.
The tech gremlins are everywhere.
You.
We appreciate it.
We do. Thanks so much. And look for the links in the show notes, everyone. They'll be there for you. Thanks so much. Have a good day.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.